Good morning from Hartefeld National. Really excited to talk about this morning some of our new equipment that came in. These are our Toro Triflexes that we're using on the greens. We also got two Toro Triflexes that are mowing our tees and approaches. And this for the greens has really made us so much more efficient. Forget about all the new technologies that I'm going to introduce you to on these machines. Just the fact that they mow a lot faster and they transport approximately 60% faster than our old triplex just makes us more efficient just from the get-go. Toro really did their homework on this mower before releasing it. They introduced a lot of new technologies on the mower itself, on the cutting units that really make these things state-of-the-art. These triplexes actually give us a far superior cut than the walk mowers. The units themselves are 22 inches like the walk units. They also hover like the walk units, or excuse me, float like the walk units, so they handle the undulations very well. But there's some new technologies on these that really give us a far superior cut. You can also see here we're doing a double cut this morning. Now, to typically double cut in the past, we would use 3 greens mowers and a triplex, so 4 people. Would have taken us over 5 hours. Or if we had just had hand mowers, which we've had since Club Corp came in, it would have taken 3 guys about 6 hours to double cut these greens. Just I don't want to say a waste of time, just a little inefficient. So we're actually double cutting this morning with 2 triflexes, and I'll introduce you to the type of double cutting we're doing, done on the Toro a lot. USGA utilizes this quite a bit. But we're using 2 people, and it's going to take us 4 hours. So substantial amount of labor pickup here, which is allowing us to do a lot of other things, add more people to a lot more detail work on the golf course. So let's show you some of the technologies that are on the triplex now. First, while we're kind of behind here, the wheel diameter itself has changed. If I put a standard triplex up against these, and you stared at the white part, the wheel itself, not the tire, they actually made the wheel smaller. And the reason they did this is it allows the tire, the tire to sit over a greater surface area on the green, which really eliminates any tire marks that you're going to see when the triplex goes over the green. Now, obviously, you see the dew pattern, the cleanup here. But when I pull back and I walk up the green, you're not going to see the tire marks you typically see from a triplex. Again, the smaller wheel allows the tire to sit more evenly, distribute its weight across the turf a lot more evenly. So let's pull back over here. You can see they look a lot more like a bubble than the other ones did. And you can see here Doug's mowing, and you can't see any tire marks. So before I get up closer on the machine again, let's introduce you to the type of double cutting we're doing. You can see Doug went up and he made his pass. He's going to turn around. He's going to mow right back down on the pass he just mowed. This is the most efficient and effective form of double cutting. And I hate to sound like Johnny Miller here for a second, but in essence, when you double cut this way, you're double cutting directly against the grain you just mowed. So you are getting the most effective form of double cut. The Toro uses this type of double cutting quite a bit. USGA uses this type of double cutting, and the putting surface we are getting this morning is absolutely pure. It's absolutely pure. So, and again, we're doing it. We've got more guys on bunkers over here this morning, and we've got more guys for detail work. So let's look at some of the technologies actually on the cutting unit themselves. So Toro's using what is called a double A-frame design on the frame that actually holds the unit. If you look right there, you can see it closely resembles a car suspension. You can see it right there. And what this double A-frame design does, I'm going to follow here, it allows the unit to sit squarely on the turf. Older triplexes, older technologies, just has basically one bar that raises and lowers the unit and holds the unit in place. What that does is it doesn't allow the unit to necessarily sit square on the turf the whole time. If the unit is not sitting square on the turf, when you go uphill or downhill, or when the unit's initially lower, the unit and the bed knife are not sitting square on the turf, and you're not getting as clean a cut as you would as when the units are sitting square. The double A-frame design also has a pivot point in the front, and it's difficult to see with the buckets here, right there, okay, which allows the unit to pivot side to side up to 22 degrees. And I believe that's the degree of pivot. I'll have to double check that. But what that allows us to do is when we're doing the cleanup, the units will actually turn with the triplex so that we, again, the unit remains square to the turf it's cutting, and you get a far superior cut. It also will not create any wear on the cleanup cut. Before, when the unit would not pivot, the unit would actually like shimmy or slide when it would make a turn on a cleanup cut, and it would wear the turf out, and the cleanup cuts would become very thin. You can see we take the bucket off here to do the cleanup just so you can see it a lot better. But as he turns, these units will turn up to 22 degrees to allow for a better cut. So we've got the double A-frame design, we've got the 22 degrees of pivot on the cutting unit. We also have brushes in the back. I've talked about before, the height of cut is measured from the roller in the front, which is right there, and the roller in the back, which is over here. What they've done is they've put brushes on the back of these rollers. I'll bring you in here, there you go. And what that does is it keeps the back roller clean. So that, see that back roller's nice and clean there. So that way your heights don't change at all. And when you're mowing at 0.090 or 0.100 of an inch, you know, a thousandth of an inch makes a big difference. So we want to make sure we keep that consistent height all the time. So there's a lot of other new technologies I'll post in a blog post, but that's some of the technologies I wanted to show you out here in the field. Again, double cutting this morning, super efficient, awesome cut this morning. And you know, this has been a long time coming for us. Pull back here, get you a nice little shot in the morning. This is my favorite time in the morning. Boy, it just doesn't get any better than that. It really doesn't. There's one of our new carts. So this has been a long time coming. Big thank you to Club Corp for making all this happen for us. Just really excited. My guys are real excited to be using these now. Really take a lot of pride in what they've been doing. So new Toro Triflexes. I encourage you to come out. If you see us mowing with them, again, we use them on the tees and approaches as well. Feel free to stop us. We'd love to introduce you to them, show you some of the technologies on them. You can also see, I did point out, we do have lights on equipment now, which is fantastic. We can get out much earlier if we need to and get things cut. So, new Toro Triflexes from Hartefeld National. Big thank you again to Club Corp for making this happen, and we'll see you soon.